Hi, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Made by Marymount, the official Marymount Athletics podcast. Today, I'm joined by one of the most decorated athletes in Marymount men's soccer history, Leo Torres. Today, Leo and I talk about his journey to Marymount, his success wearing the Saints uniform, and we touch on Hispanic Heritage Month and the importance of it for Marymount men's soccer. With that, let's chat with Leo. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Made by Marymount, the official Marymount Athletics podcast. Today, I'm joined by Leo Torres from men's soccer. How are you doing today, Leo?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm excited to talk to you today because you are one of the most decorated athletes in men's soccer and in Marymount history. So I'm very excited to talk to you today, get to know you a little bit more and get to know your soccer history. So as we just previously touched, you came to Marymount playing a position that you do not currently play and did not even intend on coming to college. Kind of let's touch on that. Kind of what led you to Marymount?
So, yeah, like you said, growing up and in high school, I played center back, and I played soccer more like a thing to do with my friends. You know, I never really took it like super serious. I never really played at a super really competitive level.
Mm-hmm.
I think the farthest I ever did was, or the farthest I ever traveled for soccer was like Richmond, North Carolina. I never, it was something that I just did on as a hobby. And then I went into my senior year, played that year. After soccer was over, I was like, okay, now it's time to work, help my family out a little bit. And, the summer was going by. Comes the end of the summer, there's a small tournament here at Marymount, and they still do it this year. It's a small-sided tournament. It's like an 8v8, 9v9, and some of my friends were putting their high school into it. And they're like, "We need an extra player. Come play with us." And at the time, I didn't really know about Marymount, so I was like, "Okay, let me see what the school's about." I saw it was a local school, so that was good.
Mm-hmm.
I saw they had a pretty good business program, and that's something that's really interesting to me, especially with what my dad does for work. So I was like, okay, then let me see what it's about. I played the tournament, and that was it. A week or two go by. Coach Nate reaches out to me. He's like, hey, I saw you playing at the tournament. I think you'd be a really good fit here at the school. And at the time, he also said he wanted me as a center back. Mm-hmm. He never had mentioned anything about being a forward or anything. So okay, why not? I came on to visit. One thing led to another. I liked the way that the guys here received me. I liked how everybody was really friendly. I liked that it was close to school. Coach Nate seemed like somebody who would help me out a lot. So I was like, okay, why not? Let's do it. Came to Marymount, and yeah, that's really how it happened.
Rest has been history the last 3 years. So you have been a part of a championship-winning team. Back in your sophomore year, you guys won the Atlantic East Conference Championship. Tell me a little bit about what that was like, because that was the first one in Marymount men's soccer history. You were an essential player in that game. Kind of tell me a little bit about what that was like, being young and winning a conference championship.
It was crazy. I can't find the words to explain. I feel like coming here, that was never my number one goal. I just came, like I said, to play soccer as a hobby and go to school. And then once, especially that year, we were winning a lot of games. We came into the tournament, the number one seed. So we were hosting games. A lot of people were coming to the game. I was like, wow, this series is really cool. I'm really
Right, because, before, a lot of us coming into college games have never experienced something like that. So it's really special to experience that for the first time.
So, yeah, the semifinal comes. We win really late. It's ecstatic. Everybody's celebrating. We're all super happy, but, it's not the final, obviously. Then final day comes. Before the game even starts, it's already packed. You can barely walk by because there's so many people. Game starts, not even done. The game's not even started warming up, and I'm like shaking from how nervous I am. It was a crazy feeling. Game goes on. We start losing that game, and we're losing the whole game. So we're all like, I'm like, maybe this isn't the year, maybe it just wasn't meant to be. And then I remember there was like 2 minutes left in the game. Our coach sends everybody up. We have probably one person back and the goalie. I think it was Reese. Reese puts a cross in, completely goes over, but I think they misheader it, comes back into the box, goes to Kike. He takes a shot, but the shot's like nowhere near the goal. It's like going over there, but it hits their hand. And as soon as it hits their hand, we go crazy. Everybody on the field's like screaming, handball, handball. The ref takes a little bit, and we're all like in his face screaming. He finally points at the spot. As soon as he points at the spot, it's like my heart skipped a beat. My heart dropped. I went cold, and it's like, no way. Like, and then Kike grabs the ball, puts like on my chest. I'm like, no, I can't. Like, I told him, I was like, no, you should take it. Like, I can't do this. He was like, no, you can score, and like, you can do this. It's just another game. I was okay. I grabbed the ball. I put it on the spot, and since we're home, there's not a lot of away fans, so it just goes completely quiet right before I'm about to shoot it. And I remember it so vividly. I hit the ball, and it's like it was the longest time for the ball to go in. You know what I mean? Like,
it's 5 seconds or 2 seconds took about 5 years in that moment. Yeah.
Just, like, frozen. But the ball goes in, some relief, just take a deep breath, and the rest is.
And then I think it would be funny if we could like insert pictures, but insert the picture of Leo holding the Atlantic East Conference Championship trophy where you're like lifted into the air at Long Bridge.
Right.
You know the picture I'm talking about?
Yeah,
I think it won photo of the year that year, but I think that photo is just like, I unfortunately was not there. I had a swim meet this day, so I didn't get to experience it. So hearing you talk about it is really special because I just hear it from everybody else, but like to hear it from you in that moment, it's like really special.
It's as soon as, because the way we won is they missed their PK. So as soon as they missed, we all looked around for a little, like, it didn't instantly hit us. And then out of nowhere, we see blue flares go off. And that's when we all run at Byron. He's standing there. We all tackle him down. Everybody rushes the field. Kike's dog. You ever meet Thor? He was running around like crazy.
He was just as excited as you guys.
It was really a moment that I'm never going to forget.
Definitely. And I think, speaking for your teammates here too, that's a moment that you guys will just all never forget, past, present, winning that championship was something that will live rent-free in your head.
Yeah, we still talk about it to this day. Whenever my friends Kike or Kevin call me or text me, we always talk about that. We always talk about when we're going to win another one so we can celebrate like that again, or when it's going to happen again. Hopefully this year.
I think you guys have a pretty good shot again. So you are captain for the men's soccer team this year. You were elected by your teammates. Yeah. Obviously, you have a lot of awards tied to your name, but obviously you were elected for a reason. Your teammates look up to you in that leadership position. What does that mean to you, being elected, to be a captain in your final year here at Marymount?
It means a lot. It's definitely shows that they really trust me, and I obviously don't want to let them down, don't want to, just grab it and throw it away. I'm really grateful for the trust they have in me. And I just hope that I set a good example for them for when I leave and for the people that are coming in the future. I feel like because the program's really good and it's only going up. And I feel like with good leadership now and good examples now, it'll continue to go up.
And so this week, which I think a lot of the time when I have athletes on here, they win a pretty like cool award. Like they win like Player of the Week, like you just did. So congratulations, Player of the Week.
Thank you.
You constantly get awards. You're constantly successful on the field. What has this been, kind of like, you obviously get these awards and they're fun and they're cool to have, but like you have not let that get to your head. You've continued to be successful. You've continued to work hard. What's some of like the success, like where is the success coming from?
I feel like it's a lot of like, yeah, they're an award, but it's not really like, it doesn't stop there. You want to keep, not to sound cocky, but you want to keep getting the awards. You want to keep performing well. So it's a lot of, practicing. It's a lot of mental stuff too, not letting it get to you, like you said, because I feel like as soon as you let it get to you, that's when it's like, you get complacent,
Yeah.
And I guess I've tried not to. And then also, especially like when I was starting off my freshman and sophomore years, it was like I didn't even know like you could like I said, I came in not knowing a lot, so I didn't even know you could get those kind of awards.
Right.
I feel like that was one of the main things I also, like I never really gave it too much thought.
So let's backtrack a little bit. So you came into Marymount not playing the position that you currently play. Tell me a little bit about that, kind of what that switch has been like. Obviously, it's not something you played your whole life, and you're in here now and you're playing a brand new position. Let's talk about that a little bit.
So in high school and in club, I played center back, and it was you didn't really do a lot. You just defended a little, maybe won the ball, play forward, but like attacking wise, maybe to go for a header for a corner or something. So you never really saw the other side of the field. And then coming here, first practice, like, we put our pennies on, waiting for coach to tell us where to go. He says, Leo, go play 9. I'm looking around like, is there another Leo or something? Cause,
wait, that's not me.
Yeah, because there's just no way he was talking to me. I went to the side, I talked to him. I was like, are you sure, coach? And he was like, yeah, like, I think you could do it. Just try it out. And then I remember this so vividly. First practice, it's like 2 days before a game when we're playing a scrimmage and he puts me as 9. We're playing right. I have like 3-4 chances and I miss like clear 1v1 chances and I don't score a single goal. And I'm like, nah, there's no way. Like I'm never playing this again. This is because I was like a lost puppy. I didn't know what I was doing. Then first game comes around. We played Shenandoah first game. Mm-hmm. We play them at Catholic's field, and he says the starting lineup. I'm like, okay, I'll come in and try to play as best I can wherever he puts me, but I'm starting as a 9, and I'm like I said earlier, I was on the field nervous, butterflies in my stomach, thinking I don't even know like what to do, where to go, but the game starts, it's going well. I guess I'm playing well. I get getting the ball, moving the ball around how I hope I should. And then we're like 10, 15 minutes into the game. Actually, not even. Like 5 minutes into the game. My friend Evan, who he's not here anymore, but he transferred back to Florida. He's not here anymore. He sends the ball over the back line. I'm like, I can get onto that. Like, it's a good ball. I run onto it. Keeper's off his line. I chip it over. I'm like, no way. I score a goal. I go crazy. I run to the bench. I run back to the fans. I run around the field a couple more times.
Is that your first collegiate goal?
Yeah.
So obviously a moment you're never going to forget as well.
Yeah. So it was crazy. And then from there, it was like maybe I can do this kind of thing. So from there, I just never questioned coach playing me as 9 anymore. I just said, okay, let's see where it goes. And it's been pretty good.
I think you've been pretty successful in it.
It's not too bad.
So you guys are a little bit into your season here, kind of still early on, not to that midway point yet. And obviously looking for another, conference win.
Yeah.
Especially in your last year. Obviously, everybody wants to go out on that high note. But how are you feeling about this season? You guys have some new freshmen. You have some faces that have graduated and, moved on. So how are we feeling about this year? Obviously, there's an end goal in sight. Yeah. But how are we feeling?
I'm feeling good. I think our team's looking really good. We have so many new young guys, but they're all super good. They're all top level. I feel like this is one of the best classes coaches recruited. They're fitting in really nicely, but it's that they're at the same time they're freshmen. They still have a lot to learn, and I feel like as the game's been going on, as the weeks been going on, we've been starting to get a little more chemistry and starting to show a lot on the field. We've been playing really well, especially these past couple of games. And I think once we get to conference, we're really going to be on that level where I feel like, I hope so, that I don't think any of the teams in our conference are really going to be able to keep up and hopefully win another conference championship. Because I think that's where we're at right now, where we could win another conference championship.
So you guys play right now. You don't have your first conference game until later in the month, towards the end of the month. Tell me a little bit about how you feel these non-conference games prepare you for the conference games, because obviously those conference games are essential to win because you want to continue to win. You want to have that number one seed again, for playoffs. So how do we use these non-conference games to get us ready for conference games?
I feel like Coach did a really good job this year of putting us up against teams that are either ranked or higher in the ranking system. Like, first game we play against Dickinson. Right now they're ranked like 3rd, 4th in the nation. 5th game we played against Mary Wash. They were ranked number 1 last year. They're like 2, 3 this year. So I feel like that's like the best preparation you can get, playing against super good teams, super quality teams, seeing where you are amongst those teams, and really finding out who you are as a team too. So I feel like that's really something that's going to help us in the long run.
So every season, or at least the last couple of seasons, Coach Nate has had some youth soccer nights at Longbridge where, those little soccer individuals get to be a part of the game day experience, whether they're hanging out with you guys pregame, they're doing the international walkout. What does that mean to you guys? Obviously, you were once those kids, dreaming to play college soccer, and to go on to the next level. What does it mean, to have those kids be a part of, your pregame?
It's really nice, honestly. Whenever we line up and I see the little kids coming, I know it's like a sense of just like a calming sense. It's because they're there, they'll talk to you, they'll calm you down, they'll encourage you, which is obviously really nice.
Right, they're your biggest fans in that
exactly.
moment. Yeah.
And the number one thing I like when they're saying they'll tell me to do a celebration or something, and then
which you just did the other day.
Yeah, exactly. And that's like also another motivating factor, I guess. They're like, now I got to do this. Now I got to, because it's always nice to see them all on the sidelines cheering, smiling, encouraging us, being our fans, like you said. So I feel like it's a really, really good thing that Coach Nate does, and that he should see if he can do it for more games, because it's really nice.
And so this month is Hispanic Heritage Month. And at Marymount, for last season and this year, so the last 2 seasons, we did a Spanish-speaking, or I guess it was Spanish and English-speaking, play-by-play for your game against Hood last week. And obviously that means a lot to you, and it means a lot to your teammates. What does that mean, being a Hispanic athlete here at Marymount, and having that sense of home, in the commentary in that live stream video? What is that kind of like? And, what does that mean to you guys as a whole? Obviously, probably a lot, but.
No, it does mean a lot. It's because growing up, in a Spanish-speaking household, you would always, whenever my dad was watching games or whenever a game was on, it was always in Spanish. So I feel like, even for me watching the game over and hearing him commentate in Spanish, yell the goals out in Spanish, it's like a sense of like that.
It's almost like your childhood. It's kind of what you remember growing up with.
And then for the people who are at home watching, I feel like it's a way to help them engage more, to like, to get them more like into the game.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it's really nice. It's something that, I've always loved when they do it. And I hope that they continue doing this even this year, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it's very exciting, to watch soccer in itself, but have that sense of like the Hispanic, sense to it, where it all originated from. So I think that is really special. It makes it very unique. And I like that we do that here at Marymount. And you got to do your post-game interview. Well, part of it, because you had to chat with me for a minute, but you got to do half of your interview in Spanish too, which is, special in itself.
No, yeah. My mom, this is funny because after the game, Mom was like, "You did a post-game interview in Spanish?" And I was like, "Yeah." Like, you see, it's like, "Yeah, but like, how do you do it? You can barely speak Spanish." Like, making fun of me. And I was like, "No, like, I feel like it was pretty good." And she was like, "No, yeah, it was pretty nice. I like that you did it. It highlights, that you're Latino and that,
It's a part of your identity."
Exactly. So she was really happy. She asked me to send her the link. She was, I heard her watching it with my dad, and they were both really happy about it.
So I was going to ask you this later, but we're kind of nearing the end. So your obviously pregame ritual. Do you have a pregame ritual?
I do have a pregame. So
I was about to say something. You give like pregame ritual like vibes to me, and obviously what you do must work. So I'm curious, like what does Leo do before a soccer game?
So once we get to Longbridge, we usually get there an hour before the game. So we get there. First thing I do is I take my shoes, my socks off. I like to walk the field, maybe juggle a little bit for like 5-10 minutes. After that, so it's kind of weird, but I'll just lay like a starfish on the field for like another 5-10 minutes until coach is like, okay, we're gonna start warming up soon. That's when I get up, put my cleats on, not my shin guards because that's not till like right when we're about to start. Otherwise, I feel like it's weird. It's definitely not true, but I feel like my calves get too tight. After that, go through the warm up like usual, and then it's one thing I gotta have before we start the game. It's always an electrolyte tab. If I don't
kind of like a flavor, is there a flavor? Or is it just like
so? Lizzie has these like little electrolyte tabs. It's like a little pill, and whenever I don't take them, like when we're in a away game and they don't have them or something, it's all I think about. Like I'm in the game.
So would you consider that maybe like a superstition for you? Maybe
Definitely.
Huh.
I feel like if I don't drink that little tab, it's a different game out because I'm constantly thinking about it, and then I feel like it's just not the same, honestly.
So pregame, obviously, you guys have like your pregame playlist that you listen to at Longbridge beforehand. But do you have like music that like you listen to maybe in the van or like headphones, like kind of to get you going? Or are you more of like a natural sound, like your teammates? Kind of like what are you using in that moment?
So for me, it's reggaeton. That's the only thing I listen to really. So if on the bus, on the way there, while I'm doing all this, while I'm laying on the field, I'm listening to reggaeton because I'm really Latino. If you can't, tell, but that's like I have to listen to music too. I always have my AirPods in when I'm warming up, when I'm sitting on the bench. I feel like that's also like another thing that I can't be without on game days. Definitely music.
Yeah, I'm a music person. I don't like natural sound. Yeah. I'm more of a music person myself. So what are we eating before a game? Are we eating or are we not?
It depends on if it's
I'm trying to use your success and like kind of like working into my routine here because I have one more year. So if there's something that you do that I don't, I'm like, maybe I should do it.
So they always have breakfast in the caf when we have early games like on the weekends and sometimes like earlier games during the week. If it's an early game like a 12 or a 1 p.m. game, the only thing I'll eat before is an omelet from the caf. It's with spinach and ham. That's it every morning.
Noted.
And then during like if it's a later game, it's whatever they have in the caf.
Gotcha. Okay. So all right. So usually I do rapid fire questions at the end, but I'm not really rapid fire at them because usually answers catch me off guard. So we're gonna go like 5 questions here. Okay. Are you ready? All right. Favorite Gatorade flavor? Or color. I guess it's like color.
Glacier Freeze. The
really?
light blue one. Yeah.
See, I like the dark blue one.
That one's good too, but...
Glacier Freeze? Okay. Pancakes or waffles?
Waffles.
Really?
Yeah. I like because the syrup can sit in the little crevices.
True.
So that's like...
Good point.
Yeah.
Okay. See, like that's what I'm saying. Like answers like throw me off. Okay, here we go. Night game or like day game for you?
Night game, definitely.
Really?
Yeah.
Like I feel like night games.
'Cause I feel like you got the whole day to like lock in, and then the night comes. I feel like more people come out to them, and then you're more. I feel like it just looks nicer.
Favorite professional athlete?
Now or all time?
Whichever.
So growing up, it was always he used to play for Barca. His name Andres Iniesta. He's a midfielder, and then now I feel like Holland.
All right. Oh, see, now I lost my last one. Let's see. Okay. Besides winning, the Atlantic East. Okay, actually, you can use that. But a moment that has been your favorite memory playing soccer here at Marymount. Besides, like, a big moment is winning the conference championship, but maybe like a moment in that day that's been your favorite.
So it was definitely my freshman year. We went to Immaculata. it was a 5-4 win, 5-4 comeback. We were down 3-1 at the half, 3-0 at the half. Came back on. We scored one. We were 3-1. Then they scored literally 15 seconds after, 4-1, with like 40 minutes left. And the game ended 5-4. It was crazy. I think Coach Petty cried at the end. It was an insane game. It felt like a final. It was only a regular conference game, but it was something I'm never going to forget just because of the way it happened, who it happened with, me being a freshman, all the older guys that are not here now. But yeah, that's always going to be a memory in my head.
Well, Leo, I want to thank you for joining me here today. It was great talking to you. I learned so much about you. I think it's very interesting. I've obviously, a lot of people don't know that you came to Marymount playing a different position than you do now, so having to make that switch, I think it shows a lot more of what kind of athlete you are. And I think it was really special. So thank you for taking the time to talk to me today. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. It was really fun.